Hello everyone, as you know I've been playing Fire Emblem for a long time and I decided to share some tips with you. Today, I will be sharing about how to use a fully armored team to be viable in the game Fire Emblem Heroes. So without further ado, let me begin. I understand that for beginning players, Armor Emblem seems to be the hardest team to construct. While armored units tend to come with the highest stats, they also have the lowest movement with only one square. That makes it very hard to move the team along and to generate an alpha strike that we can do with other units like the flyers, the infantry, and the cavalry. So today, I'll be telling you how to build a viable team full of armored units.
Where to begin? Is that snow?
That's a difficult one.
My first tips is to use buffs to overcome the movement penalties of the armored units. Now, in Fire Emblem Heroes, there are certain units like Winter Robin and Armored Ephraim who come with this ability called Armored March. This allows adjacent armored units to move 2 squares instead of 1 square per turn. Like you can see now that Legendary Tiki has taken advantage of Armored March to move 2 squares to engage Tarja at the other end of the bridge. This in turn greatly enhances your offensive options when using an Armored Emblem. My second tip is to have at least one unit that can counter from range. Now, if you are using an armored lineup, odds are you're going to play defensively, and odds are the AI will take advantage of your limited movement to launch an attack from range. So always ensure that you have a unit that can counter from range so that you can defeat the ranged units quickly. Like in this example, Soren attacks Hector, but my Hector has distance counter, so he's able to hit Soren back with an axe. Okay, my next tip is to make use of swap. Swap is one of the most important skill for an armored unit. Now let me explain why. Because of the armored unit's limited movement, odds are the AI is going to outmaneuver you first. With swap, I can take advantage of the limited movement to move my units around such that the AI will engage the unit type they are weak with. Like in this example, I just swap my Hector with my Naus to shoot down Katia. And again, I swap out Hector to avoid the red units engaging my green Hector. So swap is a very useful offensive and defensive tool, especially for armored units in limited spaces. I don't recommend using reposition skill in Fire Emblem Heroes for your armored units because odds are your armored units are going to be clustered together and there's very little space for your units to be repositioned with that skill. So swap, to me, it's a better option than the skill reposition. Right, my next tip is to have at least one unit that does magic damage. Most armored units do physical damage. This means that they will not be able to overcome physical tanks through the damage alone. This means you need some form of magical attacks among your armored units. Armored mages are very rare, so I recommend putting an armored dragon into your unit list. So in this case, I'm using Legendary Tiki, who is a dragon unit and therefore a magical unit. And in this example, which you will see in a while, she's able to take down the opponent with one attack. My fifth and final tip is to invest in specials that add defensive stats into your attacks. So in this example here, Hector does a way lot damage to Marth because of Ignis, which adds his defense stats to his attack. So bear in mind that armored units tend to have high defenses, so by using such skills, your attack will be exponentially more powerful than its usual bite. That's all I have for you, and remember to enjoy playing Fire Emblem Heroes. Goodbye everyone.
For you. to begin? By Garm's might.